Amara Okonkwo adjusted her designer sunglasses in the bathroom mirror of Lagos' most expensive coffee shop. Not that she needed them for vision, her eyesight was perfect. Too perfect, perhaps. She saw through everyone, investors pitching to her fintech company, men sliding into her DMs, friends asking for small loans that were never small. At 26, she was exhausted by transparency. "Are you sure about this?" Ife asked, leaning against the marble sink. Her best friend and roommate looked uncomfortable, which was rare for someone who made discomfort her business on her secret OnlyFans account. "Absolutely," Amara replied, tucking away her phone. On it, the notification blinked, Onyx crypto stocks up 12% following CEO Tob Namani's announcement. Nobody knew Tob Namani was actually Amara. Her shareholders would have panic attacks if they discovered their billions were being managed by a woman who hadn't yet turned 30. "You realize this is psychotic, right?" Ife adjusted her crop top. "You can't just pretend to be blind to test if men love you for you. Watch me." Amara unfolded a white cane she'd ordered from an accessibility store online. She'd practiced with it for weeks in their apartment. "I'm tired of people loving what I represent. The money. The status. The performance." Ife grabbed her wrist. "This isn't just unethical, it's cruel. What happens when you meet someone who actually falls for blind Amara?" Amara smiled thinly. "Then I'll have found what I'm looking for." With that, she swept out of the bathroom, tapping her cane in a rhythm she'd memorized from YouTube tutorials. Behind her dark glasses, her eyes remained open, taking in everything: the barista's judgmental stare, the tech bros hunched over MacBooks, and a lanky man in wrinkled clothes typing furiously on a laptop near the window. Amara moved toward him, counting steps. 23, 24. She deliberately tripped on his backpack, sending her hot cocoa flying. It splashed across his chest. Perfect aim. "Oh my God." He jumped up, a laptop clutched protectively, a shirt dripping. "I'm so sorry." Amara's voice carried the perfect blend of mortification and helplessness. I can't see." It's fine," he stammered, though his voice suggested it was anything but fine. "Are you okay?" Amara's hands fluttered out, finding his face with a surprising gentleness that seemed to startle them both. Her fingers traced his features: high cheekbones, the strong jaw, soft lips that parted slightly at her touch. "I'm trying to picture you," she explained. The cafe had gone quiet. Lagos wasn't a city where people typically touched strangers' faces in public, blind or not. "I'm not much to picture," he said with a self-deprecating laugh. "I'm Colonel Amara." Her finger still rested on his cheek. "Let me buy you another coffee. And maybe a shirt." "The shirt I spilled on is literally the best one I own," Colonel admitted. "I was meeting a producer today." "Producer?" "I'm a scriptwriter. Trying to be, anyway." There was something disarming about his honesty. "Though right now I mostly write copy for deodorant commercials." Amara took his arm as if it were the most natural thing in the world. "Tell me about your scripts while we find you a new shirt." "The least I can do." And that easily, her experiment began. Over the next 3 months, Colonel became a fixture in her carefully constructed false reality. He read her menus in restaurants, described sunsets with surprising poetry, and never once questioned her disability. She installed hidden cameras in her apartment before inviting him over, tiny devices that fed into a secure server where she could review footage later. On camera, Colonel was a revelation. When she went to the bathroom, he didn't snoop through her things. When she slept, he sometimes just watched her, with an expression she couldn't quite categorize: not lust, not ownership, but something closer to wonder. It irritated her at first. Nobody should be this genuine. By month 6, they were officially dating. By month 9, she was questioning her own experiment. By the end of year 1, Amara had a horrifying realization: she was falling in love with Connor while lying to his face. "I can't keep doing this," she told Ify one night, watching footage of Connor cooking dinner in her kitchen, narrating each step as if she could see nothing. "He's too good." "Then stop," Ify said simply, painting her toenails black. "Tell him the truth." But Amara couldn't. The longer the lie continued, the more impossible confession became. And something darker had begun to bloom inside her: a need to know just how far his love would go. Would he stay if she became demanding? If she tested his patience? His boundaries? She began the subtle escalation of relationship stress: missing dates, picking fights, testing jealousy triggers. Connor bent but never broke. When she accused him of flirting with Ify, he was patient. When she claimed he was ashamed to be seen with a blind woman, he took her to his mother's birthday party. "I don't understand," she whispered to Ify, watching footage of Connor asleep on her couch after staying late to help her organize her closet. "What's wrong with him?" "Maybe nothing's wrong with him," Ify suggested. "Maybe something's wrong with you." By the 18-month mark, Amara's company had doubled in value. She had enough money to buy a small country. But in her apartment, reviewing footage of Connor explaining the plot of a film she pretended not to see, she felt like the poorest woman in Lagos. "I think I love him," she admitted to herself, alone in her monitoring room. On their 2-year anniversary, Connor took her to a rooftop restaurant overlooking the Lagos skyline. The air was thick with humidity and promise. He described the city lights as electric fireflies caught in a spider's web of highways. "Amara," he said, reaching for her hand. "I need to tell you something." Her heart stopped. Had he discovered her lie? The cameras. Her true identity. "I sold my script," he said, voice breaking with excitement. "A production company wants to make my film." Relief flooded her. "That's amazing." "It's about us," he continued. "A love story where one person sees the world differently. They are flying me to Cape Town next month for pre-production." Amara froze, glass halfway to her lips. "You wrote about us." "Not exactly us," he clarified. "It's fiction. But you inspired it. The way you navigate the world, the strength you have." He squeezed her hand. "The way you've taught me to really see." The irony burned like acid in her throat. She drained her wine glass. "I want you to come with me," he said. "To Cape Town." "For how long?" 6 weeks. Maybe longer. 6 weeks away from her company. 6 weeks maintaining her lie in an unfamiliar environment. 6 weeks without her monitoring system. "I can't," she said. His face fell. "Because of work." She nodded, forgetting momentarily that blind Amara didn't have the high-powered job of real Amara. "I mean, because of logistics. My routine here." Something shifted in his expression, so subtle she nearly missed it. A shadow of doubt. "What kind of work do you do again?" he asked carefully. "You've never really explained." The question hung between them like a live wire. In that moment, Amara realized how fragile her web of lies had become. One tug on the wrong strand, then everything would collapse. "I consult," she said vaguely. "For tech companies." His eyes narrowed slightly. "Even though you can't see computer screens." "I use accessibility software," she answered too quickly. "Screen readers." "Right," he said, but that shadow hadn't left his face. Later that night, reviewing the rooftop footage, Amara watched him watching her when she excused herself to the bathroom. For the first time, he looked troubled, not concerned, but suspicious. He'd taken out his phone, typed something. Zooming in on the footage, she caught a glimpse of his search Tob Nomani Onyx crypto. Cold fear gripped her. The simulation was developing glitches. Soon, she would have to choose, end the experiment, or escalate it beyond her control. What had started as a test of love was becoming something else entirely, a test of how many lives she could live before they all crashed into each other. By their third year together, Amara had crafted an impressive ecosystem of deception. The cameras in her apartment had multiplied: bedroom, kitchen, living room, even the hallway, each feeding into a secure server she monitored obsessively. She'd hired a personal assistant who believed she was helping a blind tech consultant, but was actually managing the overlap between Amara's dual identities. Colonel had returned from Cape Town 3 months ago, changed in ways she couldn't quite define. His script was in production, stars attached, budget approved. Success had given him a quiet confidence, but something else lingered beneath the surface, a restlessness, a vigilance that hadn't been there before. "You're different," she told him one evening as they lay tangled in her Egyptian cotton sheets, the hidden camera in her designer light fixture capturing everything. "So are you," he replied, fingers tracing patterns on her bare shoulder. The comment sent a chill through her. Had he noticed something? Had she slipped up? Colonel sat up suddenly. "I need to ask you something, and I want you to be honest." Amara's heart hammered. This was it, the moment of exposure. "Do you ever feel like someone's watching you?" he asked. The question was so unexpected that she laughed, a nervous, high-pitched sound that didn't suit her. "What do you mean?" "I can't explain it." He ran a hand through his hair. "Lately I've had this feeling, like we are being observed." Amara sat up, pulling the sheet around her. "That's called paranoia, Colonel." "Is it, though?" He reached for his phone on the nightstand. 3 separate times I found weird glitches on my devices. My email was accessed from an IP address I don't recognize. And yesterday," he hesitated. "Yesterday I found something behind your bathroom mirror." Amara's blood turned to ice. She'd installed that camera herself. It was completely concealed behind the two-way glass. Impossible to detect unless you were looking for it. "What are you talking about?" Her voice remained steady despite the panic flooding her system. "A reflection." He was studying her face too intensely. "A tiny red light. When I went to touch it, it disappeared." "You're imagining things." She reached for him, hands finding his shoulders with practiced precision. "The success, the pressure of the film, it's getting to you." He caught her wrists. Gently, but firmly. "Maybe. Or maybe there's something you're not telling me." The room felt airless suddenly. How much did he suspect? And more importantly, what would he do with those suspicions? "I think someone might be stalking you," he said finally. "Someone who knows you're vulnerable. Maybe it's that ex you mentioned, the politician's son. Or someone from work." Relief rushed through her so powerfully she nearly collapsed against him. He didn't suspect her, he was worried for her. "Nobody's stalking me," she assured him, kissing his neck, grateful for this unexpected reprieve. "I'm hiring security," he insisted. "I have money now. I can protect you." "You're overreacting." "Am I?" He pulled away slightly. "Then explain the cameras." Amara froze. "What cameras?" "The ones I haven't found yet," he said, "but that I know are there." The silence between them stretched taut as piano wire. "Your apartment feels different lately," he continued. "Like strategically arranged. And sometimes I hear electronic humming when everything's supposed to be off." She forced a laugh. "Now you're being ridiculous." "Am I?" He reached beneath her pillow and pulled out her phone. "Then why do you sleep with your phone under your pillow?" You can't see notifications. You can't read texts without your screen reader. So why keep it there? Force of habit, she said weakly. From before. He handed her the phone. Unlock it. What? Unlock your phone. Let me see what's on it. This is absurd. She set the phone aside. You don't trust me. I trust you completely, he said with disturbing conviction. It's everyone else I'm worried about. That night, after Colonel left, Amara sat in her monitoring room, reviewing footage with a growing sense of dread. He was becoming observant in all the wrong ways. Protective in all the wrong places. The irony wasn't lost on her. She'd created this experiment to find true love, and now that she'd found it, its very authenticity threatened to destroy her elaborate fiction. Meanwhile, her other life was demanding attention. Onyx Crypto was preparing to go public. Financial journalists were clamoring for interviews with the mysterious Tob Namani. Her board was pressuring her to make public appearances. The male actor she'd hired to play Tob for video conferences was demanding more money. Everything was accelerating toward a collision. 3 days later, Ife threw a party at their apartment. Colonel arrived late, having met with his film's producers. Amara played her part, the careful blind woman navigating a crowded space, accepting help she didn't need, laughing at jokes she pretended not to see coming. But halfway through the night, she lost track of him. Where's Colonel? She asked Ife as they stood in the kitchen, ostensibly getting more drinks. Bathroom, I think, Ife slurred slightly. She'd been matching shots with a music producer she was trying to seduce. Or maybe smoking on the balcony with James. Anis prickled at Amara's spine. She excused herself and navigated to her bedroom, closed off for the party but unlocked. Inside, it was dark and seemingly empty. Colonel, she called softly. No answer. She closed the door behind her and dropped the blind act, scanning the room normally. Empty. But her laptop was open on the desk, the laptop that was supposed to be locked in her safe. Heart racing, she checked the browser history. Someone had accessed her cloud storage, the server where she kept all the surveillance footage. Looking for this. She whirled around. Colonel stood in the doorway of her ensuite bathroom, holding a tiny camera, one of her spares. I can explain, she began, but realized too late her mistake. She'd responded to his visual cue. She'd seen him. His laugh was hollow. No need. I think I understand perfectly. It's not what you think. Isn't it? He stepped closer. 3 years, Amara. 3 years of me describing sunsets to someone who could see them better than I could. She sank onto the edge of the bed. How long have you known? Known? About a week. Suspected. 6 months. He ran a hand through his hair. Your reflection in a wine glass. The way you dodged a waiter you shouldn't have known was coming. Little things that added up. And you stayed. Knowing I was lying. His expression was complicated, hurt, yes, but something else too. Fascination, perhaps. I wanted to understand why. What kind of person constructs such an elaborate deception? What were you getting out of it? The rawness of the question stripped her bare. I wanted to know if someone could love me without all the accessories. She gestured vaguely, encompassing her wealth, her status, her power. Just me. But it wasn't just you, he said quietly. It was a character you invented. A vulnerable woman who needed help navigating the world. That's not. Do you even need me at all? He interrupted. The real you. The question hung in the air between them, unanswerable. Outside, the party continued, bass thumping through the walls like an irregular heartbeat. I love you, she said finally. That part wasn't a lie. How would I know the difference? He placed the camera on her nightstand. You've been watching me this whole time. Every private moment, every vulnerability, all secretly recorded and reviewed. I can delete it all, she offered desperately. We can start over. Something flashed in his eyes, something calculating she'd never seen before. No, he said slowly. I don't think we'll be deleting anything. Fear slithered down her spine. What do you mean? I think, he said, pulling out his phone, that we are just getting to the interesting part. He showed her the screen, a video downloading to his device. Footage from her bedroom cameras. What are you doing? She whispered. Gathering material, he replied with a smile that didn't reach his eyes. My next script just got a lot more interesting. The morning after Carnell discovered her secret, Amara woke to an empty bed and 37 missed calls. 35 from her board of directors, 2 from Ife. She ignored them all, stumbling to her monitoring room on autopilot, only to find the system wiped clean. Every file, every recording gone. A single post-it note remained on the main monitor, who's blind now. Her phone rang again. This time she answered. Have you seen it? Ife's voice was tight with panic. Seen what? Oh God, you haven't. Turn on your TV. Now. Amara fumbled for the remote, flipping to NTA News. The headline scrolled across the bottom of the screen, Tech billionaire Tob Namani revealed as 26-year-old woman. Her legs gave out. There on national television was her Forbes Africa cover, photoshopped to replace the male actor's face with her own. The caption read, Amara Okonkwo, the woman behind Nigeria's crypto giant. How? She whispered. It gets worse, Ife said. Check Twitter. With shaking hands, Amara opened the app. The hashtag blind ambition was trending at number 1. Beneath it, the video clip, Amara in her apartment, removing her dark glasses, staring directly at a hidden camera while Carnell slept beside her. The clip had 10 million views already. I have to go, she told Ife, hanging up as her other line blinked with her lawyer's number. For 3 days, Amara didn't leave her apartment. Onyx Crypto stock plummeted, then rose again as investors decided a female CEO was actually excellent PR. Her board voted to keep her on, rebranding the company's deception as a necessary shield against industry sexism. The business would survive. Her personal life was another matter entirely.